Um, Good day, guys. How are you all doing? Welcome back to another episode on MandM Beyond Words.
Hello guys, we hope you're all doing well.
Good day, guys. Welcome back to another episode on MandM Beyond Words.
Hello everyone, and today we are diving into a topic that's very crucial and important, and we need to talk about it.
Definitely. And that's about global crisis
Right.
and kidney failure.
Right.
It's something that's very uprising. Like, the numbers are skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And it's something very serious.
Right.
So that's what we're going to be diving into. Talk about the causes, the stages, the effect it has on the body, and also how one can be able to prevent themselves from having a kidney failure, even though it's not going to be easy, because some part of it is genetics.
True.
So, but the parts that are not genetics, at least we can try to prevent ourselves from those happening, right?
Right. Well, that's a very important topic. So many people can have an idea about what it is about and how to prevent themselves from having it, inshallah.
Yeah, definitely. People should talk about things that are, actually of health concern a lot, that can, educate other people around the globe.
Right.
In ways that they can prevent themselves from those things, getting to them. Sometimes the littlest things that we ignore are the littlest things that causes our lives or our health.
Yeah, the little details are also very,
Very
very
important.
crucial.
Yeah. So let's dive into it. I mean, let's first of all, let's talk about the global statistics. We give the numbers to the people and let them know. I mean, it is not something that is small.
Right.
It is something that's like millions. We're talking about millions. So anything that is about millions is actually very serious.
Yeah, when we talk about millions, it's always serious, because we're talking about sometimes the whole population of a specific nation. So that's not a joke. That's quite alarming.
Definitely. And then the number is around 674 million people with kidney disease.
Wow.
It's not 100, it's not 200, it's not 300.
600 million people with kidney
600
disease.
million people, and that's 674. So if you get around it up, you are almost at 700 million people.
Yeah, roughly 700
million people that are roughly, and that's what's counted for.
That is always, it is always statistic.
Yeah. So I mean, there is others that are not counted for.
That's
Like,
right.
That's something very alarming. We are almost to a billion.
Yeah, I mean almost to a billion, and that means that it's something that not only we should talk about, but it's something that the health sectors should talk about more. It's one of the stuff that can attack you in the most unexpected ways,
Yeah.
and it has stages. So yeah, we will dive into all of that.
And that's very crucial, right? And let me tell you, and then that statistics, that is roughly
Yeah.
1% out of every 10 people they living with kidney failure. Like if you count 10 people,
Yeah, I understand.
like one
Yeah, at least that has kidney failure.
that has kidney failure.
That's crazy, man.
And then if you look at the statistics about the death in the world, it is at number 10
Worldwide. And that's number 10 worldwide when it comes to the things that are the leading causes of death.
That's at
Kidney
number 10.
is that's
alarming.
It is alarming. It means that it is killing way too many people.
So, and then, some estimates go even higher, up to 13% to 14% of the global population are with kidney failure.
That's like 15% is quite a huge percentage. We hope that it declines, but for some reason they always find a way of rising. That's because most people aren't aware of it, and it's going to affect more and more people.
More people,
Yeah.
definitely. And then around over 1.5 million people die every year.
Because of kidney disease and kidney failure, and that's quite. All of these statistics are quite alarming.
Yeah.
And this is something that can happen to
Anybody.
Nobody is excluded from it.
Yeah.
It can attack anyone at any time.
Definitely. And that is what's been counted for. 1.5 million people have died every year of kidney failure.
Right.
And that's a rough estimate. It could be more than that.
Right.
I mean, even though it's statistics, but there are people that die. You don't know what's the cause of death and all of that. So those people might not be counted for. And then the number is actually too much.
It is quite alarming. I mean, it is quite alarming. This is a very, 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 very vital topic. and hopefully we give the audience what they need.
Yeah, exactly. And then when we bring it back to our own, nation, like Gambia,
Yeah.
kidney failure is actually quite, but very serious. I mean, the numbers are not too much,
Right.
but it's still serious. I wanna give that back to you. The numbers are little, but they're very serious. So if I throw this question at you, and like, if you look at the Gambia in context, the population, and the economy, the infrastructure, and all of that combined, and the number of kidney failures or kidney diseases are actually very little. But what makes it serious? Like if I pose that question to you, like right now,
Yeah.
and like all this infrastructure, economy, and all of these are actually something that is degrading and all of that,
Yeah.
the health sector,
Yeah.
and everything,
Yeah.
and then the number of cases are little, but what makes it serious?
I mean, I think what makes it serious is that even if the number of cases are little, what makes it serious is that most people around are not very much aware of it. And sometimes diseases have stages. And most times when they're starting, you don't even realize it. And I think self-awareness is very important, because at least if you're self-aware of a particular disease, you can be able to know the signs at its early stages. So if you cannot figure that out, I mean, that's why it can affect anyone if you don't have that much knowledge about the disease.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And the second thing that makes it serious is that
Unless
we don't have the infrastructure.
yeah, we do not have we do not have that.
So now the second thing, that the infrastructure, the economy. So if somebody tells you like the numbers are little, bro, but what makes it serious?
Yeah, I mean, it's number one, we don't have the infrastructure, and our economy is quite it is low, which means that even though the cases are little, we cannot afford the treatment.
Yeah, or the equipment to treat, dialysis.
Yeah.
The number one thing is dialysis.
Yeah.
Dialysis is expensive.
Yeah.
And that is why most people die.
And that will result in death.
Yeah. So
No doubt.
when there's like infrastructure is low and all of that,
Yeah.
definitely that's what's gonna happen.
That is what's gonna happen. That's very true.
So now,
Yeah.
if you look at the statistics in the Gambia, and one of the leading causes in the Gambia is high blood pressure.
Yeah, that is very, very vital. High blood pressure. People might be interested to know how does high blood pressure cause kidney failure, and that is a very important question. I mean, because if you have high blood pressure and like your body is pumping way too much blood, it might affect the vessels around your kidney, and that can result in kidney failure. Right.
It's amazing how the body works, but everything has to be moderate.
Everything has to be moderate.
So when the blood comes in too high,
high.
and the kidney does what? Filter it.
It filters.
Filters your blood and everything.
That's right.
So I mean, if the blood is pumping more blood, if the heart is pumping more blood,
Yeah.
that means the kidney is overloaded.
Yeah, that means the kidney is gonna be overloaded,
Overloaded,
and that's
so-
gonna affect the vessels around the kidney.
And that is about it's responsible for about 71% of kidney disease in the Gambia.
79,
71%.
71%
That's like people with high blood pressure are more vulnerable.
to kidney failure.
Kidney failure.
Obviously, because when you have high blood, it's crazy. That's why the body is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have one problem, it can always result in another problem, and something that might be even worse and stuff. So high blood pressure is one of the major causes of kidney failure worldwide. I mean, because this is it's something that causes it, and if you go through researches, you always see that when they are mentioning the leading causes, either you see it at the first or second. It's always first or second. Because when I was doing my researches, it was like number one or number two, and I had to read through it, and I was like, wow, high blood is something that one should really avoid.
Not actually avoid. Sometimes you can't even avoid. Sometimes some things are genetics.
Yeah, some things are genetics.
But what you can do is that you control it.
You need to control
But now,
it.
you should know what to eat when you have it.
Yeah.
And when not to eat.
Right.
And if you are able to differentiate all those things, then you're good to go.
Right.
I mean, there are people that actually live with it.
Right.
But they live with it, and then when they die, it's not the cause of death. Because they are able to control, their high blood pressure. and the people that are mostly affected with high blood pressure are poor people. And like I've been telling you, the people that are actually most affected with it, and the rich people are the ones that are affected with diabetes.
Right. I mean,
I always just say that to you.
well,
I'm not sure if that's the case, but I always tell you because that's what I've seen. Like most of the people that are with high blood pressure are actually from the low class, middle class people. The upper class people are the ones that are with diabetes. I don't know whether they eat so many good things and then because of this.
And high blood,
that's in my head.
And high blood maybe because when you're
thinking too much,
you stress about the mullah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. And
So,
other problems. Because sometimes it's
the
not always
kids,
about
the food on the
everything.
table and everything.
Yeah.
Because it might spike your blood pressure to high. You can never tell.
That's
We're sorry about that joke, guys. And the second cause of kidney failure in the Gambia nowadays is actually people that are late to be diagnosed. Like we mentioned in our previous podcast, that people don't say or don't go for checkups and all that. So you can never know that you have something.
Yeah, that's why it's always important. Like the thing is that like when you look at the country and stuff like that, majority of us cannot afford these high class clinics or whatever. But then it is advisable as a person that you should always go at least every 3 months for a checkup. That is what is advised. Because if you're like me, I cannot even remember the last time that I went for a checkup. If I'm being honest. And that's a very, very bad habit that all of us should really work on, because if you don't go for checkups, you don't even you're always like it just gets in. I have this, I have that. You don't even know what's wrong with you. But if you go for checkup professionally, then they can be able to diagnose and know how your health is and what you should work on.
Yeah. Now when somebody is having a headache, they have paracetamol or they have pain relief. That I mean, that's just crazy.
Painkillers are like the go-to medicines
in this country.
In this country, it seems like whenever you're going through something, give him or her a pain relief. Paracetamol and all that. That's why sometimes I don't even involved in drinking too much medicine.
I mean, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Like if you're having a headache, that means your brain is telling you something. It's signaling something to you.
And when you're prone to drinking these pain relievers and these anti-inflammatory drugs, they can actually cause kidney failure. Yeah, it's fact. They can cause it. When you're prone to drinking anti-inflammatory drugs at all times, whenever you're sick, you just like overdosing yourself with it. They can contribute to you having kidney failure, and that is fact.
They're putting too much load on the kidney.
Yeah,
and then so across Africa, it's like limited access to dialysis through specialists, and we have late diagnosis and high mortality rates. Yeah,
I mean, Africa is considered probably the poorest continent. But by statistics, bro.
No, I mean, that's statistics. I never believe that. Like Gambia is like, Africa is poor. I mean, like they regard us in that way, but they still take our nutrients. We are rich in nutrients.
No, we are rich in nutrients.
And they don't put that back to us. They take it, they loot, steal, take it, and they never give us back anything.
That might be true, but then when you go through the statistics, you always find out that they consider us to be the poorest. And if we're being honest, man,
do you consider yourself to be the poorest?
In my head, I'm the richest in the world.
Thank you. And your surrounding, do you consider yourself as the poorest? There are things that you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for heater, and you don't have to pay for many things. You don't have to pay for ticket park. You don't have to pay, like in the UK, you pay for TV license.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And well, it all comes down to how what our beliefs are, and what does it mean to be poor, in what sense? Because when we talk about someone being poor, majority of the people, it's always about the finance. When you don't have money, you're considered poor. Some people, they don't have money, but then when you talk to them, they will tell you that they are very rich.
Definitely, everybody's rich.
Everybody is rich in different ways.
That's right. Yeah. That topic aside, we just just want to argue you on that part.
Yeah.
I know on statistics we are regarded as one of the poorest countries in the world, continents in the world.
Right.
Everything comes from us, and still now things are coming from us to them.
Well, that's true. It's just that the system is
is otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? The dialysis treatment is actually very expensive, and your kidneys does the work 121,000 times a day, filters your blood and everything, your urine, filters everything and then passes it down as urine.
Yeah.
And it does that 121,000 times a day. And the dialysis treatment is just 2 hours in a week.
Well, when you look at the statistics, 121,000. Imagine an organ that filters so many things out of your body 121 times, thousand times a day. That should show you how important
those organs
are, because they are too.
They are too.
Yeah.
In your system.
In your system.
And then you pay for the dialysis treatment.
Right, and that's very expensive.
And it's very expensive.
Right.
And it's time consuming.
Okay.
Because you have to go and sit down there, and they put 2 tubes around the nurse's nose and the doctor's nose where they put it, but it's somewhere around your neck.
Alright.
Like the lower neck region here.
Yeah.
And they put in those 2 tubes.
Yeah.
And they filters.
Yeah.
So the muscle filters your blood.
Right.
Takes your blood outside, filters it, and then put it back in your body.
That's a huge process.
Yeah.
And sadly, majority of the people cannot
afford that.
It. And if you have kidney failure and you cannot afford to treat it,
Yeah.
you are crazy.
Yeah. And then I've been talking about diabetes. We've been here because like as for the people thing and all. But now if you look at the leading cause of kidney failure, we are talking about number 1 as high blood pressure, and number 2 diabetics, number 3 infections, lifestyle factors, medication or substances, and genetics.
Yeah. I'm very interested about the lifestyle.
Lifestyle. So, you know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give life factors to you.
Yeah.
Because I know. You and I know.
Yeah.
So we talk about the number 1, because I know we talk about diabetics already.
Yeah.
Sorry, we talk about high blood pressure, we talk about diabetics. And infections. Infections like malaria, hepatitis, HIV, and post-infection kidney damage. Because there's the number 3 leading cause of kidney failure around the world. I mean, those ones are easy, and then we know like post-infection, kidney damage. Maybe your kidney is punctured,
Yeah.
all of that happen, and then you let it be, and then until the infection spread around your kidney.
Right.
And then, once the infection is spread around something, it actually grabs it in a choke bowl, and actually, damages every living tissue in it.
Right.
So now, lifestyle factors. And then since I've been mentioned that I know you are your attention number 1, number 2, and number 3, it skipped to number 4.
Lifestyle.
So you have it.
Lifestyle factors, bro. It's like the choices that you make in your life, the habits that you choose to involve yourself in. I mean, let me start with like smoking. It's a lifestyle factor. Majority of the youths smoke. People smoke.
That's very true.
And smoking, in fact, is one of the things that can cause kidney failure. Smoking. Consuming too much alcohol, or consuming alcohol, in fact, is very bad. Dehydration can cause it. Dehydration, like you don't drink too much water, you're always dehydrated at all times.
Yeah.
So there are so many other things that I might not remember at the moment.
Too much salt.
Too much salt. If you have some of them, you can.
Too much salt.
Yeah.
Lack of exercise, poor diet,
Poor
and obesity.
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 I understand lack of and all of these things, they all come down to one thing: lack of discipline, poor choices. Yeah, because you are doing something that it's crazy that it's quite crazy that you're doing something deep inside that what I'm doing is totally wrong and it's gonna affect me in one way or the other, but then you're still doing it.
Right.
And you cannot take yourself out of it. So let's take better lifestyle.
And then it's like poor diet.
Yeah. Poor diet is also very, very, very important.
People have to learn how to control their diet. Diet leads to obesity if it's not controlled. And if it's controlled, it can prevent you from getting so many things from happening to you. When you eat good, you eat healthy.
Yeah.
And people differentiate between eating and eating good,
Right.
and eating healthy.
You cannot just pick up anything you
Anything you
eat. And you have to have discipline with your diet.
Exactly. And then I've seen somebody says, the guy said, he doesn't know who actually came up with these 3 square meals, like breakfast, lunch,
And
dinner.
dinner.
He said, if you want to stay healthy, you want to stay energetic, you want to stay positive, and all of these aspects, good things like about your health, he said, eat when you're hungry.
Okay, eat when you are hungry. That makes sense.
Eat when you feel hungry, and don't eat while you're not hungry.
Sometimes I also question myself, what is breakfast, dinner, and lunch?
And lunch.
But for me, whenever I'm hungry, bro, if money there, I will chop.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're hungry, you should eat.
You should eat.
Yeah.
Unless if you're working on certain thing or you're fasting or something is going on.
Yeah.
But if you want to have perfect. I know it's not gonna be perfect,
Yeah.
but you want to have a health, a good health condition that's running and is serving you at all costs.
Yeah.
What do you gotta do? Is that eat when you're hungry.
You should always
Just a month. Just a month, and you see a lot of changes in your system. Like these days, I've not been having breakfast.
Right.
I don't feel hungry in the morning, but once I feel hungry, I eat in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I've seen some quite changes in my system. Like I'm running low, like not low actually, but my fat is going down,
Right.
and I can feel that in my system.
Right. Then so eat when you're hungry, brothers and sisters. It will help you from a lot of damage.
Yes. And the last one about the fifth one is about medication and substances, like the substances that we take. Like since you talk about you're taking hard drugs, alcohol, nuts, all these narcotic drugs and all of that, that's gonna affect your kidney because you're putting so much pressure on them, and then your kidney actually is that filter, and whatever that comes into it, it will want to filter it.
It would want to filter, and it already has a lot that it's filtering.
Filtering.
And you even adding more.
And then your kidney's job is to filter that same thing.
That
too.
same thing. So it's like when you overwhelm something.
And that's what's leading cause of kidney failure.
Yeah.
It's one of the leading causes.
If it gets overwhelmed and it cannot do all of it, then definitely it's gonna.
Yes. And we see boys taking in hard drugs. Like lately, the substance that has been going around, they call it Gina bars.
Gina bars.
I think the Nigerians call it what?
Colos.
Colos. And we've seen the number of young people that it has killed in this country.
I mean, it's such a terrible things we see happening, like drugs. And the funny thing is that when they bring these drugs in the country, like people don't even know how. Some people just smoke. They don't even know where is the drug from, how is it made, what was the process, what's inside the drug, what are the effects
On me.
on me.
Consuming the drug.
Yeah, they just once they see our body is smoking, like this man guy, then why not?
Yeah, let me give it a try.
Yeah, so you smoke it, a few hours later you cannot eat it.
You're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And the last one we talk about genetics. Some people is like they inherit it from parents.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is why I told you when you talk about prevention and all of that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you gotta be prevented because
Right.
you're born with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. Anything that has to do with genetics is always out of your control.
Out of your control. But what we can do is like
Control.
get some good have a good doctor and then try take your treatments and then try to put it under control.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, genetics is always out of our control, but we can always take some right procedures to
Yes.
make sure that we keep it under control. And it doesn't affect our daily lives in
Yes.
ways that's gonna keep us home and stuff like that.
Or in the hospital bed.
Or on the hospital bed or something like that.
And then now we dive into the stages of kidney.
Okay.
I mean, there are actually 5 stages of it.
Right.
We have stage number 1 to stage number 5.
Right.
And in stage number 1, kidney still works, but damage begins, no symptoms. And that's crazy, no symptoms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can be walking, going about your daily activities, and you're totally fine. But then, for some reason, your kidney
It's failing.
is failing, and that's why it's very, very, very dangerous. Because imagine when it suddenly attacks you, unexpected, and it finds you in a condition where probably you're not financially ready for that kind of situation. And with kidney failure, if you don't have money or you don't have people that are gonna sponsor you, well, that's a full on for you.
Yeah, because I've seen one case that has been going around, a kid that they are actually asking for donation, and it has been posted around in the media. So if anybody comes across this podcast and you're listening, there's somebody in the Gambia that needs kidney treatment, and the information has been passed around. It's been shared across many platforms in the country. And I actually forgot the details about the kid and the family, but I'm sure so when you come around this, you might know what we are talking about. So now, stage number 2 is my mind. It's like when we talk about depression.
Yeah.
Loss of function, but still silent.
Wow.
You had the second stage, it's still silent. No symptoms.
No symptoms. The damage is already going on low key.
Low key.
But then there is no signs.
There is no signs.
No symptoms.
It doesn't show you that you have a headache. You don't feel pain around your kidney.
That is really scary.
It's very, and that's stage number 2 we are talking about.
That's really scary, and that's why this important is this topic is very vital.
And now we move on to stage number 3.
Yeah,
It's moderate.
moderate.
And it says fatigue may be, you may feel, fatigue. You may be,
Maybe you might feel fatigue.
and maybe you might not.
Maybe you might not.
So if you are lucky and you feel it, at least you can know there's something wrong with your kidney. You go and do checkups and then tell you, okay, you are stage 3. But some cases, you may not even have fatigue. You are still strong, energetic. While you are stage number 3. And stage number 1 is scary. Number 2 is scarier. And number 3, how would I say? Scary.
It's even the craziest among all of them right now.
You are at stage 3. You don't even know.
You are at stage 3 of kidney failure, and you are not even aware
Aware.
of. And that's where all of these like regular checkups.
It's important.
This is why we have to be doing regular checkups. If we don't want to be having some huge surprises
On our
because when it
heads.
comes to you like how.
How is that possible?
But then when you're doing the regular checkups, at least you know your health status, and then you're comfortable.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And now we go to stage number 4, severe damage. Symptoms appear. This is when some symptoms appear: swelling and weakness. And I've seen many people with kidney disease. Actually, you see their body swollen, their feet, their stomach.
Yeah, even around your face region sometimes. If you research, you see that in the face region you have swellings around your face region. And when I saw that, I had to think. I was like, okay, something that's like inside of you.
And then it's in your lower left.
Yeah, it's
And the
now
lower right.
it's now making your face to be like all swollen and stuff like that. Bro, kidney is
No.
it's not
And
good.
how about your leg?
Yeah, it's what
It's your feet. I've seen one guy, and they said he was also suffering from kidney disease.
Yeah.
He was our neighbor. When I saw that guy, and before all of that, he was a young guy, so energetic. He's a mechanic, and he was working good and everything, and he's healthy. And one day I saw the guy with the big feet, the big stomach.
Oh wow.
The cheeks are swollen. I was like, what's going on?
Right.
And later on, I came to realize that he was dealing with kidney disease.
Wow. I mean, so our researches and everything, at least you have seen it in a real life
Definitely.
situation. I haven't really seen anyone or met or know anyone with kidney failure. But then since you have, man,
I mean, when I look at that guy, I'll be surprised and see that like something could lead to a human body reacts in this way. Your entire body is swollen, your legs, your feet you cannot even wear the same shoes that you used to wear.
right. That's crazy, man.
And now you're talking about number 5.
Right.
That's kidney failure.
Chronic kidney
Now
failure.
it stops working, it has failed
Completely.
and now life depends on dialysis or transplant.
Yeah, it's either you do kidney transplant or
Dialysis.
when your kidney completely fails,
Yes.
the question is, it seems like it's not it's not something that you can reverse.
No.
Yeah, it's
That's why it's hinting in the dialysis.
yeah, that's all that you need. That's why one should really take care of your body. Because when we find ourselves in that kind of situation, who is going to help you to get through that?
Definitely.
That's why there's a quote that you always tell me. I mean that your body is. There's a quote that you tell me that we normally talk about. It's something about the body.
I said because I took that quote from one of my study class teacher
Yeah,
when I was back in grade 10,
yeah.
and that still stays with me. So
Right.
take care of everybody. That's the only place you have got to live in.
Great. That's now. I just remember that. That's why. That's very true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see people that take care of their body. They are very active, agile, and for some reason they still have these problems. But at least take care of your body.
Take care
To
of
stand a
your
better chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when that is the case,
Yeah.
like you said, you stand a better chance.
You stand a better chance.
Health conditions happen.
Yeah,
but
naturally they happen.
They happen.
sometimes, Yeah.
But there are certain things that when you take care of yourself,
Yeah.
you stand a better chance of health.
That's true.
And either one is working, or two of them are working, and the other one is not working.
Like when you hear stories like this, that just shows you how amazing like the human body really is.
Yeah.
I think most times we feel our body.
Yeah.
Because one thing that the body can do is that it's very good at reversing situations. For example, if you're someone that consumes a lot of drug or you're someone that drinks a lot of alcohol and you stop, the body always finds a way to heal itself.
Definitely.
So the body, most of we are the ones that feel our bodies because we consume things that the body doesn't need. If you overwhelm anything, obviously, at some point, if it feels overwhelming, it's
gonna disappoint you.
It's gonna disappoint you.
And that was through your own hands.
That was through your own choices.
And now, when you think about, it's been discovered that many people find out that they have chronic kidney failure or they have kidney failure at step number 4 or step number 5. That is when your body can no longer hide the truth.
It's obvious that you know that you have it now. I mean,
that's when your body tells you now you have it.
You have it, and now
it was there. I was hiding it from you. Like no symptoms, no fatigue, nothing. You are energetic, and everything is good. Your daily life is actually going good. One day you go around, you have a concussion for that, and they take you to the hospital. They diagnose you. They checked you out, and you are diagnosed with chronic kidney failure.
Wow, that's
scary.
Everything about kidney failure is scary. But the fact that you don't even know about it until to the latter stages of it makes it even more scarier. If you know it early, at least you can intervene. Yeah. But then if it gets to that level now, you don't have much of a choice. It is what it is.
Yeah. And now when you talk about effects on the body,
right?
I mean, your waste builds up in the blood. The things that has to be filtered out and taken out as urine or whatsoever gets back into the blood again. And fluid overload causes swelling. That's when you have swelling, feel like you have fluid, so much fluid building you.
Yeah.
And that's what the people, I think elephantiasis, something like that. There's one particular disease. I don't know if it's elephantiasis or something. And after elephantiasis and all of that, blood pressure rises dangerously.
Right.
The heart becomes strained, bones breaking, fatigue becomes constant.
Right.
And the body loses its rhythm.
Right.
And life becomes a cycle, of hospital visits and all of that.
Right.
And which is something that no one wish to see them their body going through something like that.
That's true.
So now let's just jump into preventions.
Yeah.
So there are things that we're gonna talk about. Eat healthy, stay hydrated, stay active, regular checkups, be careful with medication, awareness, and avoid smoking.
Yeah.
And excess alcohol.
Right. I mean, eating healthy is also very important. You cannot just pick up anything and just put in your mouth and eat.
Definitely.
It's something that most people are not also conscious of. It's better we start being very conscious of it. The things that we put inside our body. What you put inside your body matters a lot. Because whatever you put inside your body, whether you know it or not, it's going to affect it. Or it's either going to help your body or it's not.
Definitely.
So let's put in stuff that are actually going to help boost our system.
You reduce salt, avoid excessive sugar.
Yeah.
It balance meal.
Yeah. True.
Like you, sugar.
Sugar. I mean, I'm a bad. That's one of my bad habits. But I'm working on it, guys. I mean,
good for you.
Yeah.
And you're not only doing that for yourself, but when he makes tea for me, it's always so sugary. I'll be like, bro, you want to give me diabetics? I'll always be complaining to him that you have got to give sugar intake. Right. And stay hydrated, like you mentioned. Stay active, regular checkups, and be careful with medication, like all what you mentioned previously.
Yeah, regular checkups. At least, let's say once in every 3 months.
Alright.
If that works for you, if you're wealthy enough, maybe you can even go 3 times a month.
3 times a month, it's like every 1.5.
That depends. If it works for you.
Okay.
If it works.
I know me and my people. My caliber is once every 3 months. We gather some money and we go out for checkups every 3 months.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yes, but you and your people, like, you can do it like 3 times in a month. Since you are rich people.
Right.
So stay active. Like, movement keeps your system alive. Yeah. Exercises, running, all these exercises that people take for granted. Like, if you cannot run, you cannot walk, you can do some yoga.
Yeah, you can always do some yoga. And
yoga.
Some people just don't want to be involved in like high intense workouts. But I mean, you can always walk like very long distances from your house where you live to somewhere else, and then you come back home and have a very good shower.
You can even walk around your own house.
You can also walk around your own house
If you have walkways
and be counting your steps.
and because that's very important.
Yeah.
And be careful with medication. Some medications are actually the leading cause of one of the leading cause of kidney failure.
Yeah, I mean there are some anti-inflammatory and most of these pain relievers that we always seem to turn to whenever that we are not feeling well. I'm not saying that they are bad, because they're not bad, because they help people, they cure people. But then excessive medication is very bad. And also recently not even recently, it has been happening for so long that our women and even some guys are involved in taking these drugs that they think is helping them grow muscles or is helping women get in shape, whilst it is actually doing the opposite.
Yeah, that's very true. And our sisters have to be very careful. And I think in statistics that I've seen, the women are the ones that are highly affected by kidney failure than men. I'm not sure if that statistic was correct, but that's what I've seen. Women go through a lot to customize themselves.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Awareness, know the science, educate others. Like what we are doing right now in this podcast. I mean, that's what we can do. I mean, we sensitize you guys, and the ones that have heard the messages can actually go and sensitize others. Because the sensitization about kidney failure has been going around for last week, because I've seen like almost everybody's posting it on their status. I think it's World Kidney Day.
Yeah, it is a very important topic. So let's share the little knowledge that we know about it, because sometimes the little things matter the most. So when you learn about some things and you are even more interested to know much more about it, we have internet, or you have internet, we have our cell phones. Let's use them to learn more about these things.
And this has come to the end of this episode on MandM Beyond Words.
Right.
And it's very important for one to take good care of their health, because health is wealth, like we've mentioned. Let's start to educate each other, sensitize each other. I mean, that's the only way we can. That's another way that we can actually prevent things from happening.
Yeah, when awareness is very, very
Important.
crucial. Yeah. So when people are aware of a situation, they're always in a better position to tackle it. But then when you're not aware of something, it always catch you by surprise. So let's just be more aware of stuff, and let's learn from each other. Let's share these videos and save lives, inshallah.
Yeah. Now, on our end, this podcast with the quote that he reminded me with. Take care of your body, because it's the only place you've got to live in.
Sure.